So I have two more questions, and one is, what irks you? What is your biggest pet peeve? What ails you? What makes you like, what grinds your gears?
I think people who are just negative, nasty for no reason, and like think it's cute, like, ooh girl, I see blah blah blah, I told her. For what? Like, for what? Okay, and then you told her, you made her feel bad, and I guess that made you feel good. Like, is that what makes you feel good? I don't get that. I don't understand that. I like peace, so I'm not looking for a whole lot of friction. I'm not looking for a whole lot of gaslighting. I don't want the problems.
Okay, now my next question is kind of a two-part question. And of course, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all the different other social networks. And I've been noticing so much hate for Draya and this other girl that has like 3 or 4 baby daddies. I don't know the girl's name, and I really don't want to name anybody because I don't want to spread any hate. But me personally, at my age, I'd much rather date a rich man than a poor man, be he be younger than me or older than me. Being my age, I'm almost 60. The men are not very satisfying. I'm just being honest. So when I see a older woman, which is not that much older in my opinion, choose a younger man, me personally, at 60, I don't have a problem with it. Now, if he was a poor black man, would so many people have an opinion about it? What is your opinion on this particular situation?
Well, this is my thing. It's not a situation that I would necessarily prefer for my son. I would necessarily prefer him to have an older woman. However, if that's what makes him happy, if he's glowing, if he is excited about this child, who am I to say she's not for you? In life, we have to live and let live. We have to allow others to make decisions. Now, no, I'm not a fan of predatory behavior. But he is a young man. He's still a man. So and I may get backlash for this, and this is fine. I think that at some point we have to allow others to make decisions that they deem fit for themselves.
I agree.
Now, he could have very well met, people are like, oh, well, she's a gold digger, da, da, da. Okay, well, he could have ended up with a 21-year-old gold digger that's on her first baby. Like, you just so happened that Draya is on her third her third pregnancy.
Well, what I've noticed, because I've often in this conversation have went to some of the young ladies' pages who have made these comments. Honey, you were never an option. I don't. And that's the other thing. People Draya is pulled together, and right. She has her own business, and maybe she feels like she needs to start again. Mm-hmm. Men been doing it forever,
right? And so, just to kind of speak from my own experience, I think that there have been situations where I have been the woman, and I've been, 20 years younger, and I feel like, well, I was far more taken advantage of than even he was. And I say this because I was misled about his age. If they are two consenting adults that are honest and they made that decision, then so be it. I think the problem is when obviously one person is underage or someone is dishonest, because maybe if he didn't know her age, maybe he wouldn't have consented to a woman that much older than him. Maybe that would make him feel uncomfortable. But the fact is that he did.
Yeah, she knew. It's public. It's public information about her age.
That's what he consented to. That's what he signed up for. People are like, oh, she's a gold digger. Gold diggers come in all ages, shapes, and sizes. They're not just 39-year-olds.
Were you a gold digger at 21? Honestly.
Mm-hmm. And I say that like this. At 21, I was a business owner. I was working towards my degree. I was digging for gold for myself. I was hustling for myself. I was grinding for myself.
So you wouldn't date anybody that wasn't doing anything for his or her, well, for himself, because you don't date women.
Exactly. That's my point. I've been digging for gold myself my entire adult life. So, do I expect my partner to do the same? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like, and people often bring up the situation, well, younger women have dated older men, and that was grooming too. But this is the difference. We talk about an age dynamic, but there's also a financial dynamic. Often, when the woman is younger, the man is financially dominant. So he's financially dominant, and he's mentally dominant. He's older. So he's dominant in more than one space. In this situation, Draya is not the sugar mama. Like, he's far more successful. So it isn't like she's waving a dollar sign in front of his face and making him do tricks for her. This was all willing. I think that, for so long, women, especially black women who aren't married by a certain age, get called leftover goods, and I'm speaking of someone who was engaged, who had the storybook ending. I had a beautiful ring, a beautiful family, something I'll never speak negatively on ever in life.
People outgrow each other.
Yeah, things happen. And I still ended up, a single mother. So things can end up in any kind of way, but people have a habit of making you feel like you're leftover goods. And I think a lot of the problem with the situation where Draya is concerned is that she kind of showed, nah, I'm still marketable. I'm still desired. I can still have a baby. And, and I pray that they have a happily ever after. I just genuinely want the best for all parties involved, especially since there's a little one on the way.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Denzel or Will Smith?
This shit ain't right. So, anybody that knows me know that my situation with my biological father was trash. It's not something I'm ashamed to admit. So, my best friend Draya and I was like, well, when your dad is trash, you get to pick one. So, Denzel has been my father in my head for as long as I can remember. Shout out to you, Pops. I love Will Smith, though.
Robin Gibbons or Regina Hall?
Regina Hall.
Dogs or cats?
I mean, that ain't hard to tell looking around here. Dogs, easy.
Reading or writing?
For me, they go so hand in hand. Like, when I read something, for me, when I want to make sure I understand it, I write it. I take notes about it. So that's kind of hard, but I've always loved to read. Reading was my first love, so reading.
So would you rather have sex with a poor man or a rich man?
I don't even think I can get excited next to a bum.
House or condo?
House. If you guys seen my closets, you would understand. I'm even struggling in my home now with closet space. So for me, I'm definitely rocking with a single family.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Now, I want to ask you some questions, and they're open-ended, so you can answer them pretty much any kind of way you choose to. What would you do to bring peace to the earth?
If I could do anything, I would allow people to practice whatever religion that matters to them without any backlash, without without oppression. I would also ensure that nobody's hungry and everybody has enough. I think not having enough, be it food, be it clothes, food insecurity is major. you know. So not having enough brings about a side of people that you may never experience if they have never been in that situation. So just ensuring everybody has enough, that they're well fed, that they, you know, have enough financially, and they have the freedom to practice whatever they choose, I think will make the world a better place.
Right.